Thanks for having me on today. And I was shocked. There's always a fear when there's a large gathering, especially in this political climate that we have now, that something can happen. And I know hasn't been officially directly connected to the parade march, but the proximity to it is frightening. I'm very familiar with that area. The streets are tight, so if you hear gunshots, I can only imagine what it was like.
And you point out something so important. This has not been directly connected. It is possible that they're completely separate. But talk more about the proximity of this shooting to the Stonewall Inn, or the location of the Stonewall Inn, and why that matters.
Yeah, it's really just hundreds of feet. The West Village and the Greenwich Village, particularly in that area, there's a lot of gay bars there. Obviously, Stonewall. There is Duplex. There's Monster. All these places are iconic bars where people would go after the march and have a drink and just celebrate our rights to be who we are. So the shooting would have happened hundreds of feet away from the bar.
And John, there was also an incident yesterday evening at Washington Square Park. Police say a man unleashed bear spray. That happened during a pride gathering at that park. It caused a stampede. More than 50 people were injured. John, talk about the feeling on the ground at pride gatherings, because they're certainly supposed to be celebrations, not situations where people feel nervous.
Yeah, there's a common consensus. This year, Pride felt very different than years past. Obviously, the big corporate sponsorships, a lot of brands pulling away, some in response to Trump's executive orders. And it was a somber tone on some levels leading up to yesterday. But when I was at the march, there was excitement, as you can see in the videos, people dancing, waving flags. And, this is what Pride is all about, just celebrating one another, celebrating our uniqueness. So hearing about those events in Washington Square Park, that is upsetting, but it's also proving the reason why Pride is so important, because there are people out there that are just basically don't like our sheer existence. And that's the sad part. So this is just proving the point that we're here. I know it sounds cliche, but we're here and we ain't going anywhere.
And John, I know you interviewed the governor of New York there before the parade, before the march. What stood out most to you during that conversation?
Yeah, there is definitely. I was the only creator that was able to speak to the governor, and she is really pushing up her efforts of making sure that the LGBTQ plus community is protected during this time. I know she infused a lot of money for this fund that specifically helps the transgender community with healthcare, with work placement, and other areas. And then there's also couple of laws that are being passed in the state Senate that would actually protect people that if they come to New York for, let's say, gender affirming care or abortion access, that they are shielded from any prosecution from their home state. So that is on her desk now, that she has to kind of read through that law and make sure there's no loopholes, that the federal government or other states won't sue New York. So there are a lot of things that the state is doing to ramp up to make sure that our rights are protected. At the end of the day, this is one of the areas that the gay rights movement, the birthplace of the gay rights movement. Not only was it Stonewall, but there was Julius's, which is the famous sip-in that happened 3 years prior to Stonewall that really made gay bars legal. There was that Supreme Court case. So at the end of the day, all roads for the gay rights movement lead to New York. So it's nice to see that initiatives are being upkept here.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.